Join me on the Lall Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Lall Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
Good evening and welcome to this Wednesday's edition of the Lall Show. It is 7:20 p.m. and today is Wednesday the 24th of August. Mr. Lall, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Harris. You didn't tell them you leave me for a whole weekend, by the way.
I was trying to gloss over that,
Right.
but I'm back.
Tell them where you went and how you enjoy yourself. Where you
I
went?
was in Mexico City and I had a
Mexico City.
fantastic time. Thank you to the Mexican government for inviting me over to lend my expertise, don't you know, darling?
Wow.
But yeah, I had a really good time, did lots of hard work, and now I'm back here to do some
Mexico?
more.
Mexico is a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Cancun,
I love
Mexico.
it. Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful place.
Indeed.
Mm.
So what's been happening in Guyana?
Cancun is more beautiful than Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Barbados or when you go to Dominican Republic, all these waterways.
They don't compare.
You know, very beautiful. Cancun is a very beautiful place.
Yeah, Mexico is an amazing
But
country.
you got to take a trip there.
Yeah.
All right. Next time I'm going, we can take a weekend and go.
Yeah, you're a treat.
Thanks, Miss Harris.
Thank you, welcome, and
namaste to all you
namaste.
wonderful people. And thanks for listening. Miss Harris, I have a question.
Yeah.
We go to the hospital to cure sickness. Corruption is a disease, Bernard. Where do you go to cure that?
People, you have to educate the people. The people have to demand that.
No, where do you go to cure that? Where do you go to cure it? You need to cure it. You go to the hospital to cure sickness. Corruption is a disease. You know, where do you go to cure that? You know, I really need, I don't have the answer to that question.
Dr. Duki,
Well, thankfully
Yeah, we might have win.
so we can figure it out.
you know, we went to help people instead of stealing from them.
I don't know, Miss Harris. That's a tough one, eh?
It is.
Guys,
It is.
I'm still trying to figure out, where do you go? Where do you go to deal with the sickness of corruption in Guyana? It's terrible what's going on in this land. Tonight, I have some good news and I have some bad news. Bernard, after the constant banging on the government
I see.
to release the daily oil production report, they finally directed the media on Monday to a website they have been posting the information on. And they say it has been going on for some time now. Yes.
I know the court to see the informed media.
They're putting out the information, but never tell us where they're putting it. Although every day the world was asking about it, but they never said a single word, Miss Harris. You ever ask yourself why? But constant banging, you see what it can do?
The pressure the media holds. That's why the media
You see what patience and pressure can bring about?
Yep.
It forced them to act. It forced them to at least direct us to the daily production information. I want to ask another question, Bernard. Why were they putting it up on a website and never wanted us to know? Huh?
Exactly.
What are they trying to hide from us? What they don't want us to know or to see? Bernard? This skullduggery going on, Is that what you're telling me that they want us to see?
The production wanted, produce wanted to dump in the US and they wanted to see that.
Well, Uncle and Auntie, I said namaste to all you people already. I told you guys about the good news. About them finally telling us where to find the aisle data. Why exam pumping out there? That's a nice part of the story. Now you got to hear the other part of the story.
Wow.
Listen how deceptive and tricky your government can be through the Ministry of Natural Resources. Miss Harris, the ministry headed by Vikram Bharat sent out a message to the general public saying, and I quote him, I want to quote him word for word, Uncle and Auntie. This is what he said. The Natural Resources Ministry pointed out on Monday that oil production data can be easily accessed by the public. Accessed by the public via the ministry's Petroleum Management Program website. You hear that, Bernard?
Mm-hmm.
Then they went on to say further, this follows reports in the media about the data not being publicly available. Do you hear that?
So smart.
Oh, those of you who are joining us on Facebook, Uncle and Auntie, or YouTube, it's on the computer screen there. Look at it. Look at it and read it for yourself, what they said. Oh boy, oh. You see how conniving and deceitful they can be, Bernard?
Mm-hmm.
2 years now, almost every week this country begging them to let us see how much oil is pumping out there on a daily basis. Them never say a word until now. But suddenly, after they realize that this topic ain't going to disappear, they're now telling us that the information there on our website. Why they didn't tell us from the beginning that these daily oil reports were there? You guys see the games Vikram Bharat and Bharat Jagdev playing with this nation?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Both of them were asked on many, many occasions about Exxon's daily report for the last 2 years they're in office. But they both played a hide and seek business with the Guyanese people.
One blaming the other.
When Vikram Bharat not answering his phone, Bharat Jagdev pointing him to you. This is how they were playing games with the oil, with our oil future. These people are not studying how to lead, how to govern, how to get the best out of what we have. No, no. They are not interested in that. They are interested in pure deceit and deviousness. Uncle, a simple thing as to tell this nation how much oil pumping out there, how much gas they're flaring out there, how many barrels of produced water they're dumping into the ocean every day. Why you don't want a nation to know that, man? Huh, Miss Harris? This oil is not Bharat Jagdev, Vikram Bharat or President Aliun. It belongs to all of us. This country belongs to all of us. Or it belongs to them alone. And we don't know. And we don't know that, Miss Harris.
That's the way they behave for sure.
Well, it seems so. Because what I'm about to tell you, Bernard, will definitely upset you. You know? I want all of you, uncle and auntie, the website that Vikram Bharat so boastfully direct us to and see what he put out there as production report. Please go and see for yourselves and be your own judge or magistrate if you want. Then call me at the end of the program so that we can chat about it. What you, I want you, Bernard, when you're done, we can chat about it. Can you pull it up on your computer and see what you understand? Yep. So we can chat on it after? Mm-hmm. It is sad, Bernard. You know, Ms. Harris, it is not good to be disrespectful to leaders of your country. And I try not to be disrespectful to them most of the times. But sometimes you just can't help it to watch them in their faces and tell them hurtful words. Of course. I love to do that in person when I see them. I can't do that on the radio. Call President Ali, please, and tell him to go online and see what Bharat Jagdeo instructed Vikram Bharat to put on that website as oil production reports. Can somebody do that for me, man? 100%. Hmm? I deliberately call Bharat Jagdeo name, uncle and auntie, because he is the man leading this oil sector. And he has been for too long playing games in this country, shifting blame. He never takes ownership or responsibility for anything whatsoever, always throwing the blame to scapegoats, making himself look clean in the process. That is what he has been doing since he was president to now. I can list a number of things off the top of my head that he has done, Ms. Harris. Mm-hmm. Once he said, you guys remember? Oh, we don't have people to audit the Lisa 1 and 29 billion US. And how he was so disappointed. Bull-S. You know bull with S? Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Got to be.
3 years budget money, Ms. Harris, that could have tripled pension packages and salaries for the public servants, build some roads and highways. That man telling us he disappointed, he can't find people. Eh? When he deliberately wasn't looking for anybody.
Exactly.
He wasn't looking for anybody.
What about the people in Texas?
You want to tell me a financial guru like he would allow $9 billion American dollars to just walk away like that?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He is not interested in auditing and fixing these things. No.
Not for us.
No. Look at the other $9 billion he put Haynes to go after. Give him 4 months to do him. You can wait. He really wants an audit? So this is the game he's playing with the Guyanese people. Mm-hmm. Look at the full liability coverage. Yes. He spin around in circles and then dump it on the EPA, telling us it is their responsibility. That's what he did. Mm-hmm. This world-class smart man. Yes, that's what he did. Mm-hmm. As for the renegotiation of the oil contract, I don't even want to talk about that. You believe when you ask these questions, you're hurting these people's parents' feelings. Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's like asking her that bedroom story?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Ring fencing provision is like a poison to them. Taxes from ExxonMobil is like you're robbing them personally. Now the production report, he pushing it to Vikram Bharat. Yes. Sometimes I feel sorry for these underlings, but I just can't help calling your names because I put yourselves in that position to be used like that by Bharat Jagdeo. So, Mr. Bernard, when you hear Bharat Jagdev holding press conferences and blaming people, man, uncle and auntie, he is the man to be blamed for everything because he controls and directs every single thing in the oil sector. Nobody can do anything without his permission in the oil sector. Am I clear, Ms. Harris?
Very.
Nobody. And by the way, he said he's coming on the radio the same week. I am still waiting.
Exactly. It's Wednesday.
Because he said because we can't gaff properly at the press conference.
There's a gap he wants to come and have.
Man, are you cussing the coalition? Are you cussing the coalition government? But the coalition government used to tell Guyana every day how much oil coming up. 2 years now Bharat Jagdev took over. And we can't see a simple, clear, straightforward, easy to understand report 2 years after. Auntie, all oil producing countries around the world, including the United States of America, where ExxonMobil and Hess come from, puts out their production report that even a blindfolded donkey can understand the report the people put out.
Exactly.
You hear me, man? Auntie? A preppy child or a standard one child going to school can look at the USA and Canada and many other countries' oil report and know exactly what is going on. They can see exactly how much barrels of oil is being pumped on a daily basis, how much gas they're flaring when the day come, and how much produced water they're dumping in the ocean every day. This is how simple and straightforward these oil-producing countries make their reports so that every citizen of their country can see it, know it, and understand it. Just Google oil production reports in Ghana, the US and Canada, and you will see it for yourself, auntie and uncle. And then Google and see what Bharat Jagdev put out as oil production report for Guyana for us to see. Just Google them and see, man. Sir, did you put up the US and the Ghana report on the screen and let them see it? Those of you online and on YouTube, you could see it. I put it up on the screen there. Bernard, what Jagdev put out there is like they only cater for accountants and economists to be able to understand. It is far from being user-friendly so that the ordinary citizen can glance at it and understand. You can't.
Nope.
What that tells you, Miss Harris?
They don't want people to know.
They don't want y'all to know how much oil is being pumped every day.
Confusing you. They want to confuse you.
Or Jagdev putting a black plastic bag over y'all heads. It's two things. The man you know, or the man throwing a black plastic bag over your head.
But this information is both.
What I tell you, Miss Harris, man? What I tell you, man? Bharat Jagdev really want us to know the real story of what is going on out there?
Nope.
Huh? Why would Bharat Jagdev, the man that's in charge of this oil wealth, doing this to us? May I ask?
Probably thinks it belongs to
Huh?
him.
You think we're getting the right amount, Bernard? Huh?
Nope.
You don't think something fishy going on there, man?
If you have nothing to hide, why are you hiding?
Exactly, because I am stupid, uncle.
Yep, make
I am stupid. I just asking. We asking for simple, clean oil production report And Barajak, they're throwing us in a crab dance, giving us another mystery. With this type of behavior, I don't think we will ever know the true production figures and who is part of the game. I don't think so. You ever ask yourself why nobody wants to talk about renegotiation, Ms. Harris? Why these politicians don't want to talk about it?
They must be happy with the deal.
They're happy with the deal they're getting, for sure.
Now you know we can't see clear a production report. How much oil them a pump up every day?
It's not a national issue. It's not belongs to the people of Guyana.
You know, at least David Granger released the contract. And under David Granger stewardship, you used to get the production reports. So you know how much oil they used to pump on a daily basis. Man, Ms. Harris, if that contract was ever in the hands of Barajak Deo to be released, all of us would have died without knowing what is in that contract. And if by some miracle he did release it, you would have had to pelt it back in the face and say keep it, because you would have never understand what it says. It would have been redacted and redacted and all redacted before he put it out.
Yeah.
He would have never put it out though. Never.
No.
Imagine David Granger realized that Raphael Trotman signed a contract, a messed up contract, and said no, let the Guyanese people see what the man signed. You understand? Mm-hmm. You think you would have get it from Barajak there?
Never in a million years.
Man,
We're still waiting for the OMI contract.
oh man, oh my contract, I'm waiting on all the contract, them little stupid contract that they can't answer. Well, he promised again to let us have it.
They want you to do.
Man, down to the production report he don't want to give us. He don't want me to see. This is why sometimes I have to demand answers from this question.
Yeah.
And I will ask it again. What is Barajak Deo getting personally out of this oil business that he's basically doing nothing tangible that will bring about benefits for this country and its people? What? Nothing tangible this man doing that will bring about benefit from this oil sector for the people of this country. You trust a man, uncle, to oversee the picking of your mangoes, and he can't report back to your family how much mangoes are being picked on a daily basis? Bernard? Mm-hmm. Then what is he going on there? What is going on there between the picker and the man you trust? Ms. Harris? You put a man, Harris, you believe you can trust in charge of your farm. And when you ask the man how much produce he bring out every day, he giving you a Jim Cock McCram good story. Mm-hmm. Well, tell me, man. Tell me. Tell me what's going through your mind with he and the man, man. Eh?
Working for them.
Yeah. A simple thing like production report. 2 years now, this nation can't see it, man. Eh? And Barajak Deo, this financial king of Guyana, in charge of it? Come on, man. Come on, uncle. Come on. It's 2 years. 2 years now this whole country bawling on President Ali and Jagdeo to tell us how much oil those oil criminals bringing up out there. And they can't be straightforward to this day with something as simple as that. Eh? Then why else they going to be more simple with, man? You know, it reminds me of Winston Brasington. The man was sued 19 times. Done win 7 and get 37 million from me already. Yeah. Winston Brasington has still got 11 or 12 cases in the court. President Ramotar, when he went into office, requested that Brasington prepare a summary of the workings, the findings and doings within NISIL under his stewardship. The man prepared a booklet, which I still have in my office, and I show it to some chartered accountants. Within 5 minutes of pursuing the booklet, they shake their heads and say, Glenn, no, this can never be a summary of transactions done by NISIL. One financial analyst said to me, Glenn, you gotta be joking. The person even asked me, Bernard, if they could take the book to confront President Ramotar with it. And I said, yes, go ahead. Mr. Harris, out of shame, the individual sent back the book to me and never spoke back to me.
I wonder why.
And from time to time when I see the individual, I would nod and say, what's up? Shame. The individual would dung their head. Dung their head in shame. Confused. Mix up is not even words I can find to describe those transactions put out by Winston Brasington in that summary. I still have the book there in my office, man. And this is the man who is now heading the gas to shore billion US dollar project. This is the man who tell the audience at the Marriott recently that Guyana does not have any risk at the Amelia Falls hydroelectric plant they were planning to throw on Guyana. When behind his back, when he was speaking, the slide showing the opposite to what he was saying. You hear that? Mm-hmm. I love this country. I love these people. I even love their families too. Yeah. Oh no, I can't love you people. You people can't do the things those people can do. Those people have class. You got class? What Bharat Jagdev and Winston Brasington doing at NISIL? He now got Vikram Bharat doing at the oil ministry. You hear me, Miss Harris? What Bharat Jagdev and Winston Brasington doing at NISIL? He got Vikram Bharat doing the same thing at the oil ministry. These guys should go down on their knees and pray that no serious, decent leader ever take over this country. I know Winston Brasington does do that every day at the cathedral. You go to church every day at the cathedral. I don't know. You guys should go down on your knees and pray that the right people don't take over this country and run it. You know, I received a few calls after Monday night program on the New Amsterdam Hospital. And they told me it is much worse than how I prescribed it. Yes, how I described it, sorry. Oh. Which has forced me, uncle, to expand a little more on what goes on in this country with all those monies. I hear they're borrowing to do this and to do that in the health ministry. In a nutshell, Bernard, when you hear they're borrowing to build schools, hospital roads, fix GPL and GWI, it's only thief they're borrowing to thief 3/4 of the money and leave the country indebted. That's what they do. Bharat Jagdeo said this country is in almost $3 billion American dollar debt. Who have it like this, may I ask?
Not me and you.
I have no hate in my heart for them, you know, uncle. I can't bring myself to that level. Their level. But I hate what they are doing to this country and the poor people of this country, Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
People looks up to them as gods.
Huh?
The people that looks up to them as gods.
You know, how can you indebt a country? You hear me, man? To thief. Huh?
Sad.
A few people that spoke to me after the Monday program seems to be confused. They mix up or they didn't get it right when I said 5 or 6 million US dollar can build a 6 and 7 story buildings. You hear me, man? All the buildings you see in this country, uncle and auntie, 6 and 7 stories high, did not cost 5 or 6 million US dollar. Am I clear, Bernard?
Definitely.
If they say it costs more than that, well, you gotta go see if they make gold toilets and diamond bathrooms. You hear me? That's the only way they can say they spend more money. So when you hear them say they build a flat school for 5 million US, which is $1 billion Guyana dollar, uncle and auntie, they rob you 6 stories of the school. Or 6 more flat schools like that. That's what these governments doing to you. From Bharat Jagde right down to Granger, to now President Ali and Ramotar. That's what they have been doing to y'all. If they build a flat one for 600 million Guyana dollar, man, that is only 3 million US, uncle. They rob you 3 story there, or 3 other flat school. That's the kind of money this country is being ripped off on every single project they do, auntie. It's not 2-cent money they're robbing at you. And all these things can be proven. These projects I'm talking about can be proven. So they can't sue me for this. I can prove it in any court, the cost on these buildings. Of course, I can't prove workmanship. Because they might want to tell you, they charge you $1 million for carry one truckload, son.
But they pay the workers.
No, $1 million truckload, son. Yeah. Or they pay you $2 million for fetch steel for truckload for stretch steel. That's the only way they can defend these things.
Yeah.
You understand? And I've been talking these things over and over, you know. This thing like it have no shame. Like it have no bottom.
They have no shame. They have no shame.
You know, it has no bottom. This thing has no stop. The building fire station for $800 million.
That's 4 million US.
That's 4 million US. You hear me? They're building police stations, post office, hospitals, health centers, every piece of government buildings. They're taking your clothes off on. In some cases, hundreds of millions with no shame, Bernard. God have to help this country, brother. You see that 800 million for build fire station? Man, you could build 8-story fire station without that kind of money. Every year when you look at the money they set aside to spend in the various government agencies, corporations and ministries, man, and when you question these heads, how the monies are being spent, some of them just behave like you sexually molest their loved ones. That's how they just behave, Miss Harris.
Yep.
I'm in the newspaper business, uncle. 28 years now, so I know what I'm talking about. They get very upset. They say, how dare Glenn Lall send his reporters to question them? How? How are your money being spent, uncle? Yes, that's what I tell them. But I always get fun pushing their buttons. Yes. I like to reach them on the road and say, you did a good job on the building, boy. And they would turn their face away from me.
It's a shame.
Of course they're shame. They don't want to hear the next sentence will come out my mouth. Yesterday, one of them called my reporter about the New Amsterdam hospital story in the newspapers that I spoke about Monday. She said, sorry, sir. My boss, Lall, telephone number is 624-6456. Please call him. I am still waiting for his call. He felt offended about the story we carried. And I really thought he would have called me instead of the reporter. But he didn't so far. He didn't answer now. Frank Anthony seems like he dropped off the map. Not a word from him. Answer now. Hear that? He gone silent. He gone numb. All of them gone dumb. You don't hear nothing from President Ali Jagdeh. Nobody don't hear nothing from.
Abusing IMF for the reporter.
Yeah.
They like abusing you.
Yes. Bernard, 330 medical facilities sitting all over this country. You hear me, man? 330. And 94% of them, that is over 300 of the 330, have no access to treated water. You hear that? Have no access to treated water, brother.
Billions of dollars spent.
Can you believe this, man? And 260 of them, which is 80%, do not have access to basic medicines inside them. The basic things. Maybe painkiller, antibiotic and stuff like that. They don't have that. 260 out of the 330 medical facilities across this country, man, does not have basic medicines inside.
And they threw away $10 billion in expired drugs the other day. $10 billion in expired drugs.
Can you believe this, uncle? Basic medicine, man, 80% of the hospital don't have. Then why are you going there, uncle?
To die.
Huh? Auntie? As for the buildings, you have to go and see what some of them look like across this country, man. Again, why are we spending hundreds of millions on them when bush, rats, and carb have taken them over? My village in Wakenham, Zealandia village, has a little health center and got 3 security guards and nothing inside. Plus 2 nurses visits the little building twice a week, I'm told. What are they doing? Only God in heaven knows.
What they guarded.
Huh? They have 4 like that on the island of Wakenham. God help this country. Please help this land. And help some of these politicians we have. I don't have words to describe them. So please help me with next week with words to describe them. Legwan, the same thing, Miss Harris. Next door to Wakenham is Legwan. The rest of the Escobar Islands, the same thing. All across the country, the same thing. And every day you hear them boasting. Better health care, better health facilities, and nothing is working. And no medication is there. The basic, they don't have nowhere.
The simplest things.
Mm-hmm. The Georgetown Public Hospital, what I have there, the furnace, what I spent millions of US to burn the medical waste away, only part of it is working. I found out that today. The part that crushes up the items, you know, the needles and stuff like that, Ms. Harris.
Yeah.
But the other part that burns it you know, that mince it up, heats it up and burn it out. That part is not working. Yes. Sivan's waste does come and collect it. I don't know where it is carried, and I don't know how it is disposed it, and where it is disposed it.
Hawks Marshall disposed in the same place where Exxon disposing all the chemicals too. Is one dump again I have.
Billions upon billions of dollars, year after year, each government budget to spend in the Ministry of Health. When you look at the figures they are spending, Uncle, Guyana should have had 15 Mount Sinai across this country, man. 15, now on. In 2020, $51 billion, the budget that's spent out. That is 51.7% increase for them public servants, you know.
255 million.
In 2021, $53 billion. That was another 53.7% increase. In 2022, $73 billion. Yes, $73 billion. They put in the budget for the Ministry of Health. That is $177 billion, which is equivalent to $885 million in 3 years, Uncle. Let me go slow, man. Let me go slow. Let people understand what go along. $885 million American dollars in 3 years. My God.
Basic medicines.
Crazy money.
My God. And that is only in the budget. Them they still go in and take out more money behind we back for spend, or they borrow and spend.
Just take for the
For the last 3 years, let me ask this question. What improvements have you seen in the Ministry of Health that come close to the 85 million US dollar? Not the 800, you know. The 85 million American dollars, Uncle. Because, like I said, 85 million US dollar can give you 8 modern 6-7-story state-of-the-art hospitals across this country. You hear me? Just the 85 million US dollar, you know.
Not 800.
Not the 800 million.
You're in trouble there.
I ain't even talk about it. I ain't even touch that. I only hope you people understand what Glenn Lall saying here, you know. The 85 million out of the 885 million US for the 3 year could have built 6 or 8 6-story state-of-the-art hospitals across this country. I don't think Trinidad will got double we population to spend that kind of money in their Ministry of Health as to what these chaps said they're spending here in this country. This year alone, Uncle, this year is, like I said, is $73 billion, which is 365 million US. You hear me, Bernard? 365 million American dollars. We in August. Y'all want to see trouble? Ask Frank Anthony where that money gone and how it's spent, if any left back.
Wow. Wonderful question.
This is what you people need to understand, what they're doing to you and your children. Ask him where the money there. It's not that we don't have money, you know, man. You understand? And that we are not getting the money. Is what they're doing with the money, Uncle. What they're doing with this money year after year. Wait, man. Bernard, these things don't light up people's stomach. Eh? You know, wake you up, brother and sister. Today, Kaieteur News. Today, IDB saying the Georgetown Public Hospital is in need of urgent upgrade. The Georgetown one now. This is not New Amsterdam, it's the Georgetown. The people said the wooden buildings, which is part of the hospital complex, is a fire hazard. You know what will happen here now, Bernard? They have 15 or 20 times that money in this year budget that can build over all the hospitals into modern day medical facilities. Ask them where the money is. Like I said, find out where the money gone. That's the kind of money we have. 365 million American dollars can fix every one of the hospitals throughout this country. Monday, I didn't tell you why the IDB is doing this investigation. You know, Ms. Harris, I didn't say it. It is because the government asked them for borrow 160 million American dollars more. This is more to the budget, the 365 budget, what I'm already put in this year budget, this year.
Of course.
To help them strengthen and modernize these hospitals. That's why the people come here to do the investigation.
Never ends. It never ends.
So the 365 million them take this year, that must have disappeared already. Now they're taking another $160 million on WeBacks. And come next year, you're going to be the same way. And the debt can still be hanging on our children's neck. How much you bet me?
I bet my life.
That 160 million US dollar, uncle, that you see they're borrowing from the IDB, let me make it clear again, can put up 10 7-story hospitals in every region of Guyana with state-of-the-art equipment and machines, beds, chairs, everything, man, everything. It will really look better than Mount Sinai Hospital. I giving y'all 7-story buildings, you know. Not 2-story building, not 2 stories for the offices and storerooms and emergency. And the other 5 stories I giving y'all is for beds. Even beds for the nurses that they can sleep overnight. Yes. That 160 million they are going to spend less than 20 million, uncle. That 160, they are going to spend less than 20 million and thief out the 140. Trust me on it. Come next year, you will see couple zinc sheets change, couple windows and doors change, they patch here and they patch there, they paint here and they paint there, and the cycle keeps rotating year after year in the Ministry of Health.
Ministry of Health, you call it?
Yes.
What a sick name.
You will really have to go check your health after you finish with this story. Can you imagine that 365 million US set aside for this year to spend in the Ministry of Health? None of the main hospitals doesn't have the 3 most modernized equipment that is so badly needed in this country.
Yeah,
$365 million American dollars, and you don't got the 3 most important machine or equipment in the main hospitals of this country, man.
How much is the equipment cost? The 3 million?
Let me tell you what they are for us. One is a CT scan to scan your brain, uncle.
Accidents that many have.
Yes. If your brain get injury.
So many accidents on the road.
One is an MRI machine that scans the entire body. And the other one is a cath lab.
CAT scan.
Yes, a cath lab. A cath lab, uncle. You can do all kinds of heart surgeries. Yes. Those 3 machines are compulsory in at least 3-4 main hospitals in this country. And they are not expensive, uncle. Less than 10 million American dollar will put all 3 of those machines or equipment in all 4 the main hospitals in this country. You hear what I said, man? Less than 10 million American dollars. Can put them 3 most important equipment or machineries in all 4 the main hospitals in this country. You didn't hear what I said there, Bernard? You watch me like you want to kill me for that. I said less than 10 million out of the $365 million. What a budget for this year alone can put it. No, they don't understand. So this is why I'm explaining these things. You understand? That 365 million for this year, uncle, will disappear. Or if I ain't light, already disappear. Yeah, man. And trust me, you will not even get a computer in the malaria office to input data. Or even buy Band-Aid for the medical centers. Trust me. 10 million US dollar. You know, man, that can give you the machines, equipment, what is most needed in this country, auntie. Ask Frank Anthony and President Ali why the people of this country got to go pay to get those services done at private hospitals. Why?
Exactly.
Why, man? Eh? 365 million US dollar. And you can't take $10 million to put these equipment in there, brother?
So poor people could.
Eh? Is what you're doing to the people of this country, President Ali and Frank Anthony. This is sickening, brother.
More than sickening, it's criminal, man.
From the time they announce borrowing another 160 million from the IDB, Manard, it been on my mind. These are loans that will be left for our children to pay, uncle. Is that fair to them, man? Is that fair to the youths of tomorrow to pay for the crimes being committed today by our politicians, man?
Crimes, yes, they're criminals,
Huh?
man. That's what they are.
Auntie, I always believe if you borrow money, it must be well spent. The nation should see how every dollar is being spent. With this 160 million US dollar, Frank Anthony can put 4 Mount Sinai in Guyana that can really transform the lives of the Guyanese people with a proper healthcare system. I am betting my last dollar, uncle, that 160 million US dollar, yes, you would not get the 3 out of the 37-story hospitals that money can buy. And every cent will vanish into thin air. Any bets on that? All that money, hundreds of millions of US dollars will go up in smoke, and the nurses, the matrons will not be better off. You, the patients, will not get the basic painkillers or antibiotic. And the malaria section, where I went to get my vaccine, still wouldn't have a computer to tell me about my vaccine history. You betting? Any bets? I feel sorry for that young nurse trying to go through the big books to find my records. Girl, nurse, I'm sorry for your child. I can't help you. Almost all the money we collected from 2019 to the first quarter of this year, uncle. Let me go back slowly so you understand what I'm saying here, man. Almost all the money we collected from the oil from 2019 to the first quarter of 2022, 600 million American dollars gone out already into national development, according to Ashton Singh. Hear that? Gone out into national development, according to Dr. Ashni Singh.
Of which country?
Hmm?
Of which country?
Man, me don't know if a Guyana
Yes,
is
you know,
that.
they only Guyana, so that's why I asked you which country. Where is it developing? Which
That
country?
is what they say. They took the $600 million, and that is what it will do.
Well, I live in Guyana.
It is going into national development, right? With that kind of money, you could have already seen massive transformation across Guyana. You hear me tell you, man? With that kind of money,
Yeah,
if it's spent right,
$600 million US.
ask them where they put it. These are the kind of questions when they come in front y'all face. You guys have to ask them where these monies are going. What are they doing with it? 365 million American dollars
1 year.
to the Ministry of Health. What have changed in this land?
Nothing.
You're going to borrow 160 million again. Where is it? What to do what? I tell you, 10 million only you need for put in the most important machines in the main hospitals. And now, since Janam Juk, they can't put in a thing. Man, I just want to end by telling you this. 2 weeks prior to the 2015 elections, Kaieteur News carried a big, bold headline. 12.8 million US drug contract issued to new GPC. You hear me? You hear what I'm saying, man? 2 weeks prior to the election, you know. 12.8 million American dollars drug contract gone to new GPC. That same company owned by one of Jagdev's best friend. Yes, Dr. Ramroop. Normally, uncle and auntie, an advance of no more than 25% does be given to any person or the companies who get the drug contracts. But in this case, the full amount, 12.8 million US, was issued to the company on the last day. Let me repeat, man. On the last day before the 2015 election. Get out that check. Get out that check quickly. That's how I see it. Get it out, get it out, get it out. Government change, you got problem getting payments. Get it out. If we lose, at least we put behind on the last drug contract. Oh, Guyana. Oh, I love Guyana. The coalition government go in and said, the 12.8 million US dollar drug contract to the new GPC is nothing but kick down door banditry. Them say it shows how evil, corrupt, greedy, and ruthless the PPPC can be. Ramjatan and Carl Greenidge said those words. They promised to investigate. But instead the coalition went in and did exactly what the PPP was doing. They just kick Ramroop aside and bring in Roop Ram into the sweetness.
Yep, I went all along.
2 7-story modernized hospital money just vanished. 2 7-story modernized hospital money vanished there. 12.8 million US. I cannot tell you. Don't ask me if they ever supply the drugs for the 12.8 million US to the hospital or to the ministry, uncle. I can't help you that. And don't ask me why the money was paid. Was paid the last working day before the 2015 elections by the Ministry of Health. And don't ask me how much more ministries and government agencies they clean up like that on the last day before the elections. I don't know. Mr. Harris, I don't know. Please don't ask me them things. Them things hard for answer, you know.
Very.
You know? And most importantly, I'm not that smart. You know? I'm not that bright to tell you all and give you all those answers. But you know, I'm a bit smart, you know. because there are a few things I never forget. Was the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks. I don't forget that, you know, Ms. Harris.
That's a couple days before the election.
That was another one.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
One of them was signed away just a couple of weeks before the 2015 election. And the other one was signed away days before the 2015 election. How can I forget these things, man? I can't forget them now, you know? Yes, billions of US dollar worth in those two oil blocks that could have had Guyana sailing like a king with no debts on our hands. We didn't have to worry about hospital bills or crime in the country. The blocks just vanished. You know, I have nothing else to tell you all tonight. You know, and I really don't think I want to take any one of your phone calls, except Barajak, they'll call me, or Frank Anthony. You know, Ms. Harris, the Malaysia ex-prime minister, you know, he was sent to prison for 12 years 2 days ago. They found, you know, they found over 1 billion US dollar transfer all over the world in he and his family name. I was so happy when I heard him went to prison. And they even give description of the prison. They say they're 1 hour away from his mansion.
Good.
Yes.
I hope it's
Yes.
something like the mansion.
And they show you the cell he in, and the mansion he lives in.
Oh, wonderful.
I love the Malaysian government for that.
I hope you can see his mansion from the prison.
No, 1 hour, too far, can't see.
Yeah.
I wonder how many billions we will find that was transferred to our politicians and their families' names around the world. I wonder. I'm just wondering. I have an idea how much money what almost all of them got. These people don't have money in the millions, uncle. They have in the billions. And a few of them doesn't have in the billions. They have in the trillions. Yes, I know them. I got a clue. I got an idea. And I'll tell a lot of people about it. So if I hear a talk of your name, yes, it's true. Glenn Lall is talking him. Glenn Lall can't help it. No, this is low life. All right, any phone calls? Raphael Trotman. Hear the story, Miss Saris?
Oh, I do.
Raphael Trotman resigned earlier today from Parliament. Oh gosh, party statement he sent out to the media say he served on many committees, including those on constitutional reform. Yes. Committees like security, foreign affairs, natural resources, and contributed to the passage of many pieces of crucial legislation. He also led, the statement said he led several parliamentary delegations to international conferences and meetings in the UK, Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka, you know what? Peru, Azerbaijan, Bolivia, Barbados, Mexico, New Zealand, among several others. But nowhere in that statement, Ms. Harris, did it say that he was responsible for signing that 2% Exxon contract that got Guyana tied up like a haggard out iguana on the roadside. No way in that statement he said anything about that. Nowhere did it say that he is responsible for the situation we find ourselves in with the oil companies, reaping everything, and with Guyana getting nothing, down to the taxes we losing out on. Nothing they said in that statement. Again, don't ask me why. that was left out? I don't know. But I was told he cannot speak. His voice refuses to come out his body. Yes. Well, let me say this. Raphael Trotman will forever be remembered for what he has done to this country with that contract. This Harvard University graduate who signed away Guyana to ExxonMobil will be remembered for exactly that. That will be his lasting legacy. With that, I say no more. I say good night and God bless you guys.
Indeed, what a legacy to leave. 226-7453 and 226-7454, 622-222. Those are the numbers if you wish to contact us. Mr. Lall's personal number, you wish to give them your number tonight?
624-6456. I'm holding it in my hand.
Let's get those calls. Let's get those comments. I know many of
And
you
you
would
don't
have
have
had
money to call me, you can call me WhatsApp. It's free.
Yeah, I'm dying to hear people's hospital experiences. I
Yep.
always say the hospitals in Guyana, it's where you go to die.
Glenn,
The quality of healthcare is so poor.
Glenn, I have a question for you. You think the ministers, including the Minister of Health, would the IFMAS system they bought for 20 million US? You think they would?
Just a second, let me take this call. Good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Mr. Glenn Lall,
Yes, good evening.
I just want to clarify one issue that you brought up on Monday night program, where you mentioned someone is collecting money on behalf of your legal contribution towards your legal situation. We as OWC was part of that collection of finance. We have not collected any finance from anyone. So someone that calls you, we would like to know who that person is, and we would like to track them down, who is ever collecting money on behalf of that legal fund.
Thank you. Thank you. All
Okay.
right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Bernard. go
Yes,
ahead.
Glenn. You think the Minister of Health or any other minister would show us how the money is spent? This 365 million US dollar? Okay, don't answer the question yet. Do you know a cheaper machine, an ultrasound machine doesn't cost, I don't know, 50,000 US or even, I'm sure it's less than 100,000 US dollar. When you go to the public hospital, you have to go outside the balance and pay 5,000 Guyana dollar for ultrasound. I know that because my wife had to do it. I was in the hospital with an accident, my last accident. They didn't have antibiotics. They gave me a prescription. I had to go to the drugstore outside and buy antibiotics. Antibiotics and pain tablets are the basic medicines. Basic. You understand? The malaria clinic, I go to the malaria clinic. I went malaria over 40 times. I almost lived there. Right? They have to go through files and go through and sort your files thing. Right? When you spend 365 million US in just this year alone, that is not sickening, man. That is, these people are criminal. This is criminal, Glenn. It's not sickening. These are criminal acts done to the poor people in this country.
It's not only the Ministry of Health. This is going on.
Right, but we
with,
deal with this on alone today. Let's
know,
deal with health alone.
yeah.
I know that, but let me show it.
You know that 365 million US dollar. I don't think they even weed some of the medical facilities.
We did not even clean the cobwebs in the building. This is more than single. Glenn. The poor people have to go to private hospital and pay money. Like I tell you, they have to pay money for ultrasound. For those CAT scans, $100 and something $1,000 you got to pay at private hospital. These things, when you have an accident, there's so many accidents happening in this country. I mean, you read the news, the young couple got an accident, right? One died and three them hunting. These machines are necessary for these accidents and these things, and it's sickening when this amount of money spent on health, and the Guyanese people can't even got to go and take money to their pocket and pay for these things. This is more than sickening. This is criminal, Glenn.
Ms. Harris,
Yep,
care to take the floor?
definitely.
I'm
I
tired.
was just doing some research there. Guess how much for the X-ray, the sonogram, the one that you just did.
No. All these things, Ms. Harris.
20,000 to 200,000 US.
That's what I said.
Yes,
I know that.
So cheap.
Guys, these equipment The ultrasound machine is a different machine. Those are cheap machines.
Cheap ones, yes.
I just mentioned three of the most expensive machines that every modernized hospital in the world have.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, $10 million $10 million will put in the 3 machines in the 4 main hospitals in this country. So right away that put you in par with the United States, Europe, anywhere on earth. And they did not put that in.
But what I'm trying to say, Glenn,
You
if
understand?
they're not buying...
Hello, you're live on air.
Thanks, Skipper.
Good night, you're live.
Yeah. I just got a point of view, I don't know how to put it, but I the parties and just keep saying all the time that they're just doing the will of the people. I want to know, like, if the people could, like, answer if this 2% what these parties saying for is their will. If we adjust the situation further. And I believe we're getting too poor for calling for names. Because when I talk to take a position, it's coverage bodyguards. I think you have to say the bodyguards right to the name and right to the party. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't protect them, right?
Thank
the
you.
bodyguards that protect them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
listen to the people over here. Yeah, this is a referendum. I want to see can get a referendum so people can answer for themselves. So you're talking, you don't blame the heads that vote for. You blame the people that vote for them. You can talk to people and no matter talk to their heads.
I hear
To
you.
the aunties, all the races and the religions, yeah, you got to talk to all of them.
I hear you,
Thank
brother.
you.
I hear you. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, Miss Harris.
Glenn, but they're not buying the ultrasound machine, which is the cheapest ones, to save poor Guyanese people from paying $5,000 for getting ultrasound to go private hospital. They will be buying $1 million CAT scan.
My friend, both governments in this that we have had
Both of
in
them.
this country
For the past 60
they
years.
are very disrespectful to the people of this country,
Incredibly.
where their health and livelihood is concerned.
Yep.
In every sector of society,
Exactly. 100% I'm with you.
and things have to change.
And Trotman will go down in the
Things
history.
have to change.
Trotman will go down in history as the minister to sign the worst oil contract in the history of the world. The worst oil contract ever in the history of the world. Trotman will go down in history signing it. Right? No other country gives away 85% of the oil except what the one that Trotman signed.
85. Trotman gave away all the oil. 85. And Jagdev not changing it.
They don't see a problem with it.
He not changing
They
it.
love it. Why they love it? That's the question, guys. You have to answer. Why they love it? Why the leaders love that contract that Trotman signed?
Man, you don't have to go to
We have a
university.
caller.
You don't have to even go to small.
Take it.
Take the call.
Good evening, caller. Welcome. Oh, we lost them.
226-7453, 226-7454, or you could WhatsApp 6222222.
Glenn, where are the doctors and the nurses? Why are none of them calling in to us? Why are none of them saying anything what's going on in the health sector?
They're probably too ashamed to be
They're
honest.
not to be ashamed.
See-
You are working in the sector. You
No, but the thing is, we
My friend.
can't blame the doctors and nurses
No, no,
because
but they
many
can
of them
speak up.
are very committed to helping people. We've got someone.
Take it.
Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Yeah,
Mr. Lall
I
is
listening, Mr. Glenn there.
Yes, go ahead. Good night.
Yeah,
Good night. Hearing.
I just want to make a contribution to the topic you are talking about.
Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah. Even the best hospital and all, the other day I got best hospital, and they said that they ain't got no thing for take photograph for your X-ray.
X-ray. They don't have an X-ray machine working.
Yes, it ain't working properly. They tell me you gotta get phone, you gotta get a phone for take all the pictures and all kind of thing they're telling me.
nonsense.
Oh boy.
So did you have to go
So
privately?
you know what's really going on in the country. I know how
Oh.
Mr. Ali running the country like that.
Every health center should have got an X-ray machine, man. An X-ray machine is just couple $1,000 for it.
Yep, an
Not
X-ray
million, couple
machine
thousand.
is from 3,000 to 120,000 is the average cost.
And then gonna
Night.
Right,
$10,000
thank
give a
you.
proper X-ray machine, man.
Yeah, it's not much
You know?
money.
All
when you
these
think of
things they
it.
should have had.
Yeah.
You know? They don't have a dentist chair for sit down in.
So where is the 365 million US dollar going for this year
Oh,
alone? Where is it
buddy.
going?
Oh, we gotta ask President Ali that. That's
I
a
have-
question we gotta ask
Back to the,
President
back to the
Ali.
IFMAS thing. The IFMAS, the accounting thing that the government bought for 20 million US dollar. Doesn't the part where the money goes out that you have to show where the money, how you spend the money?
We don't have that part.
No, they don't have that. Good evening, you're live on the air.
Good night, Bob.
Good night.
I really teaching this program. But here I go on. The thing is, lie and thieving, man, and not more. Lies on 64-year man attack to you. The thing is, lie and thieving since independence made is life and life
Just
and
hold
life.
for me, please. Thank you.
Like the children we had to tell you about. It is students from the university that graduate. You see, we got a life for thief, body. That one more thing I can tell you. This Lenora killing with this little girl since college student Mr. Gopal. You know, the heart goes out to that girl, to dead and gone. And when I was telling you about the trade robbers who won in judiciary, see what happened there? Mr. Lall?
I am here with you, but I don't like to comment on court matters. The CCJ, the
That is
CCJ,
the way you fight corruption. You have to speak it.
sir,
You have to confront it.
sir,
Yes, sir.
the CCJ has made its ruling according to the law, and that's final. There's nothing there to confront or to talk about. They reduced her sentence and free the husband. And that's, it is what it is. There's nothing to confront there.
What is to confront there is that the Guyana judges is whatever they are saying. The CCG.
No. Sorry, I disconnect you. I disconnect you because I don't want to get into this type of discussion.
We have
We're-
another call.
We are not, yeah, take that call. We are not here to discuss these judicial matters, sir.
All right.
I am
good
not a
evening,
lawyer.
Caller, thanks for waiting. You're live.
Yes, you're welcome. Yes. I have a few observations that I would like to make.
Sure.
That money that you were saying about the 365 million US dollars, is that money going to be building the hospitals that they say that they're going to be the new ones that they're going to set up in the various regions?
Hold 1 second on that. That is the total money, that 365 million US they set aside for the Ministry of Health to spend for the entire 2022. All right? What they do with it, God in heaven knows. Of course, yes, that money has to be spent on drugs. Salary, a few salaries, not all the salaries, a few contract workers and stuff like that. And most of the money should be spent on these medical facilities and painting and stuff like that. Where and how it's being spent, only God in heaven knows. But I could tell you that's a lot of money that can put 10-story hospitals right across this country with modernized equipment
Yes.
inside.
So, why I ask is because many weeks ago we were hearing about I think the president and also the health minister, they were saying about how they're going to improve healthcare in this country and how they're going to build this hospital and that hospital and so on. When our major regional hospitals, for example, the New Amsterdam hospital, which is in question right now. How is it that thing is in that deplorable state? I mean, deplorable is just a nice word, right? But I want to know why is it that we are building newer hospitals and we can't equip and get that one working properly, right? So it leaves much to be desired as to what would happen to those other hospitals that they're going to bring on board. I mean, look, let us be fair to them. I think in Region 5, right, there needs to be a hospital there. I could agree with that one. I mean, I am just a lay person, but the way how I see it, right? But Barbies here, I mean East Barbies, we have that one Yamsana hospital there, and it's not being taken care of properly. And I mean, you did a wonderful job of telling the nation about what was discovered through the IDB revelation. Now, I want to ask a question. Could it be that the IDB and the World Bank, and more so the loan agencies, could it be that they're in collusion with the government, that they're forcing them, or they're telling them or enticing them that here, there's loan to take, come and take loan, and tell them that here, this hospital here needs fixing, that one so need fixing, this one, and paint a nice picture, and the public get the understanding that yes, that development is actually taking place, but where is it really going? Where is this money really going? We haven't seen anything new from since the reincarnation of this PVP government from when they were there before 23 years. Nothing really has actually happened. Look, for example, another sore issue. We have what we call the National Ophthalmology Center. Nice big word, right? And that thing, there was a fire that took place in that building some time ago in the operation theater, and it cannot be fixed, right? So I think I saw in the news the other day that I think like about 1,500 people, there's a backlog of people who has surgeries to be taken and can't get the thing done because of the equipment and so on. So what is it really are we really doing? Are we really serious about these things? We're just only talking? And this brings me to this question. Since we are talking about World Healthcare Facility and so on, how would that going to play out with the private hospitals? Because I have a suspicion that they are people who own these hospitals or so. They are friends with this government, and how is it that they could have their business survive and then have proper healthcare facility done at the public hospital? If that's the case, well, nobody will go to these private hospitals.
Can you hold a moment?
Right?
Can you hold a moment for me? Can you hold a moment for me? You tickle my nerve there. I didn't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. I talked about these equipment and machinery that the main hospitals should have and must have. Let me tell you, the Georgetown Hospital, they have one of those machines, and they have machines that not working. The one that they have is being run on a private business style, meaning a private man have it there, and the state, the patient goes to and take their service, and the state pay for it in the public hospital. I didn't want to talk about it, but you forced me to talk about it. The Mercy Hospital, Mercy MRI machine, or the CT scan, they have machines there, and if you go as a patient to the Georgetown Hospital and they refer you to that institution to get your scan done, the government of Guyana pay half of the fee, and you find the other half to pay the private hospital. This is the kind of backward madness that is going on in this country with Frank Anthony them and Barra Jack Day when they finale them. This is what goes on.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked, because I've been looking and I'm asking myself these questions. How is it that we are spending so much of our billions of dollars into the healthcare, and then the poor man has to end up going into the private hospital? I don't understand what's happening there.
Exactly.
And
the government using some of the money to pay half. Well,
that is not, at least me, I'm not surprised because, given how the nature of these people, how they are. Now, I'm thinking also, I heard when the president came back from the Rwanda visit, I heard he was talking about the vaccines that he saw the Rwandans they are making, and he was talking about making a vaccine center here, right? And he wants to produce vaccine. Now, I want to know when should that come on stream, if that was going to really work out to the benefit of the Guyanese people, or is that going to be one of like a private venture for some of them?
I think you've answered your own question there, caller. you seem to understand how these things work. It's a public, what is it? A PPP partnership, public-private partnership.
The private getting out.
Where the private people,
and public getting shafted.
nothing, exactly.
Shafted.
We put up the investment money, we get shafted, and that is the end of that.
You know, I feel happy. I feel
Hold
happy
on, one sec.
when I can hear people call in and speak like that.
Well
young man
informed.
there. He understands what is going on.
Indeed.
He understands
Now,
what's going on.
I have another observation I like to make. I think it was earlier this week here, on the Globe Span, we had the former President Ramutar was on the program, and I remember I had to check it up to hear what he was saying, and the question was asked to him, what about the contract that he signed, that oil contract? And he was very point out right away that he did not sign a production contract. He signed an exploration contract. And he went on to say, well, this thing was brought up and into the legal system, and he had a hand over it. So I'm thinking that was that really the thing that had happened back then? Was it an exploration contract and not a production contract?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
The first production contract is Trotman signed.
The first production license is what Raphael Trotman signed in 2016.
Okay, yes, I got that. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The contract that the PPP signed was exploration, searching for it.
Good.
Right?
Okay.
And that hasn't changed until now. That thing should have changed.
Yes.
Because Guyana is losing billions upon billions.
Hundreds of billions, Glenn, not billions. Hundreds of billions.
US dollars. US dollars.
Of course, of US dollars, yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you for your input, sir.
Okay. All right.
Ms.
All right,
Harris.
thank you. Good night.
Good night, Miss Harris.
Yep. I had a question here for you. You see, you mentioned that, what was it, 12.8 million that was signed over to Bobby Ramaroop
Yes.
during the
Last day
the
before
last
the 2015 election.
days. Do you think that's still going on right now? These,
Oh, is it going on right now?
or have they
Oh,
died?
definitely they're going on right now, man. Oh, definitely.
I have a better question for you.
Definitely.
I have a better
Drug
question.
contract, it just reversed, it spin back.
But Glenn, I have a
It
better,
spin back. It's a back and forth thing between the PPP and the PNC thing, man.
I have a better question for you.
These things ain't gonna stop
Yeah,
unless you get a change and jail some of these people.
indeed.
You know, throw them in jail for lifetime.
Yep.
They're not gonna stop these things.
Glenn, but where are the drugs that in millions of US dollars and the health centers do not have basic medicines like painkillers and antibiotics? Where do they spend millions of buying these drugs? Where are the drugs?
Bernard, three-quarters of the drugs that they are purchasing, the ministry are purchasing, you hear me? Do not come into this country.
Wow.
If it do come into this country, it's being siphoned out back to go into the private
Hospitals, then.
to go into the private facilities. Either it goes to the drugstores
Or the
or
private
it
doctors.
goes to private
doctors.
Yeah.
places.
But you know what? I just had an observation actually.
And this is what they do. This is what they have been doing all the
Yes.
while.
Because every year you check all the budget, hundreds of millions of dollars
Into
to
the health
health
sector
sector.
to improve it, and then the
You
hospitals
don't
are
want to know the prices.
like cemeteries.
You don't want to know the prices we just pay for some of these
Yes,
these drugs.
I remember Kaieteur exposed the ketosol, the
It's
ketoconazole cream they could buy for
unbelievable.
$200. They were selling the podcast pay for $1,200 or whatever.
Yeah.
$2,000.
$2,000.
One
Sickening.
second, let me take this call. Good evening, you're live on the air.
Good evening. I'd like to make a complaint, I should say,
Good.
against this government. I had what you call a stroke in my eye, and it took me out from work, and I went to the public hospital, and they immediately sent me over to Woodlands to do the surgery. I had to go to take an injection for $45,000. And the doctors recommended that I do another one. Well, since then, I couldn't do another one because it costs so much. I would have to do it and pay another $45,000 to get that done. Now, I'm a pensioner. How do I go about getting a double whammy, $45,000 to pay for these surgeries? And I'm paid taxes in this country for all these years, and I can't get the medical treatment now that I need it.
I wish I had that answer to give you, but I could tell you if you hold a placard and go in front Frank Anthony Ministry, he will take care of you.
Okay.
And if you want, I go with you. You can call me. I'll probably go with you spend a half hour with you, because I like to protest.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Yeah, I was quickly going to say that what tends to happen is that when the government or when these corrupt politicians want to provide a solution, they tend to create a problem. So they're starving the public health sector of the finances so that they can encourage their friends to go and set up private institutions where people have no chance, no option, but to go and pay the money because they need the services. And I think that's exactly what's happening in this country.
But if people don't have the money, you already, your taxes are, they take your taxes already, and they don't give you the benefit. But these same people won't vote for these politicians again.
Exactly.
The same people who can't get good health care at the public hospital have to take your money and pay to go to the private hospital. These are the same people that vote for these politicians in. So they are sadists.
They're the same ones that are going to go dip their
They're the same ones that are going to dip their stay in their finger for these politicians. And they're going to jump down on your throat where you export the nonsense and shenanigans that do. They're the same ones that jump and defend them. Isn't that true, Glenn?
It's true.
Ms. Harris, please close tonight's proceedings.
What can we say here? I think the people need to stand up, really, because the majority of the people who are affected by these poor hospitals are the same ones. Yeah, poor people who don't have a choice, and then they're expected to make these sacrifices just to live, just to survive. Basic essential services your government isn't providing you. What are you going to do, Guyana? Is this the standard that we're going to continue to set for ourselves, our children, the future generations? We have oil, we have all the resources, and this is where we are. Looking at hospitals that resemble cemeteries and mortuaries. That's where we're sending people. People actually asking the question, is it a hospital for people or animals? In this 21st century, when everybody is so far ahead of us, that's where we are. We can't differentiate between the hospitals for animals or the hospitals for people. That's all I have
Thank
to
you,
say.
Ms. Harris.
Namaste.
And
Have a wonderful
guys,
evening.
Thank you for listening. See you guys on Friday.